وسهلا بكل الذين ينضموا للاستماع إلى راديو بلدي، أول راديو عربي أمريكي ويعنى بقضايا العرب في المهجر. برامجنا في راديو بلدي كل يوم جمعة من 8 وحتى 9 صباحا مع ليلى الحسيني في بث حي ومباشر عبر WNZK راديو 690 AM. صباح الخير بلدي، صباح الخير لكل مستمعينا.
Welcome to Radio Baladi, the first Arab, Middle Eastern, and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on WNZK 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
Hey everybody, this is Ray Hanania. It's Friday, May 10th, 2019, and you're listening to the Arab Street Radio and podcast broadcast from Detroit, Michigan through 690 AM WNZK Radio. You can tune in and join the conversation by calling 248-557-3300. Our topics this morning on live radio in Detroit today include a discussion of the Nakba commemoration, 71 years since Israel began the destruction of Palestine, and a look at the situation in Syria and the continuing violence there by Israel, the United States, Iran, and Russia. Nobody is a good people in that conflict. They're all bad. And we'll take calls from listeners this morning to talk about a lot of things. For more information on the Arab Street Radio and podcast, and I have two podcasts, one on Middle East and mainstream issues called at thearabstreet.org. And I also have one on mainstream American politics, which is Ray Hanania on politics.com. I think you just go to hanania.com to get all that information if you want to listen to them. I got both. I can't combine the two topics. People who like the Middle East don't like the American stuff. People who like the American stuff don't like the Middle East stuff. So it's like I got to have two faces, looking in one direction and then the other direction just to keep everybody happy. So and it stopped the angry emails that I get like, why are you talking about, Chicago politics in your Middle East podcast? Or why are you talking about the Middle East in your Chicago podcast? So I've separated them, folks, thearabstreet.org. And you can go there. And, of course, if you're outside of the greater Detroit area, you can go to hanania.com and you can get the two links to listen to the show live online. I'm getting a little buzz back there. Must be the angels yelling at me inside my head. They're complaining about the podcast I do, too. Oh, gosh. Maybe they will check in. So I'll tell you, I'm up for a Chicago Headline Club Award from the Society of Professional Journalism for columns that I've written. That'll be awarded tonight. I'm up against Crane Chicago Business, a finalist. So one of two finalists. So, and I don't mind. I think I'm going to do pretty well. I have 4 Lissiger Awards, and this would be my 5th if I win it. And if I win it, I'll dedicate it to peace in the Middle East, as if that's ever going to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on Facebook and Twitter, and we got a couple of interesting stories. One of them is about, I posted something about the real Middle East hypocrisy. The mainstream media attacks President Trump and bashes everything he does. I can't listen to Hate Night TV with Stephen Colbert or Jim Kimmel. They're so biased. They make me puke when I hear them. So I turn them all off. I'm done. None of them are like Johnny Carson, right? Or Jay Leno or David Letterman. They're all vicious. They're not even funny. I can't even handle it. But the mainstream news media, they attack Trump and bash everything he does except, and this is the key where the bias starts, his positions on Israel's government. Now remember, I distinguish between Israelis and Israel's government. And you know what, if we can criticize the Trump administration, I think I should be able to criticize the Netanyahu administration. Shouldn't I? Huh? I don't know. I'm tired of people going, why do you criticize Israel? Because nobody in the U.S. does except the activists. The media is so biased. I mean, they give voice to this racist Middle East envoy, Jason Greenblatt, and never challenge Greenblatt's lies about the bias against Israel. The bias is against Palestine by an apartheid state government that discriminates against Christians and Muslims. The media silence on this is the core of the indictment that the news media is the primary cause, in my opinion, of violence and hate in the Middle East, and they empower terrorism and violence to suit their political agenda of defending everything that Israel's racist government, not people, does. And I stand by that. That is my work. And you know what? I'm going to do a little segue, and I'll give you a little taste of the non-Middle East stuff. I did a piece on the Game of Thrones, okay? This could be the Middle East, actually. You know, Cersei is Israel, and Daenerys Targaryen are Palestinians, okay? We just don't have a big dragon. But Game of Thrones has been thrillingly disappointing. And what I mean is I love Game of Thrones so much. I've watched all 7 seasons, and I'm watching the 8th season now. But this 8th season, you know, it's the last one, and you really expect something spectacular. Now, no matter what they do, I'm going to love it because I love Game of Thrones. It's thrilling. It's phenomenal. I'm vested in it. I've followed it for more than 9 years. I think the last episode from season 7 was a year and a half ago. It's been a long time. So we've been really patient. They had all that time to come up with a better ending, but instead of doing that, they have this, mediocre final season. The first 4 episodes of season 8 are just so-so. It's a disappointment. They could have done so much better. And I'll tell you, the fact that they had a Starbucks coffee cup on the desk in front of Daenerys Targaryen while she's arguing with Jon Snow tells you how little focus they put into this, series. They should have done so much more. It could be phenomenal, and it's just not. So anyway, that's my little sampling. If you go to Ray Hanania on politics.com or Hanania.com, you can listen to that podcast talking about it. It's about 15 minutes long, I think, something like that. So let's, a couple stories in the news. Congresswoman Betty McCollum, a Democrat from Florida and Minnesota, has introduced legislation called the Promoting Human Rights for Palestinian Children Living Under Israeli Military Occupation. It's House Resolution 2407. Now, you should call your local legislators. And I know Rashida Tlaib is supporting it, and Ilhan Omar are supporting it, so that they're doing the right thing. But you need to push amending the provision of the Foreign Assistance Act known as the Leahy Law to prohibit funding for the military detention of children in any country, including Israel. And the media, they criticize every country that detains children, but not in Israel. Israel's government detains kids, little kids, all the time, and nobody says anything. That's the bias. When I talk about bias, there's some great writing, in the media when they write about, civil rights in the United States, when they even write about defending, Muslims. And happy Ramadan to all my Muslim friends, by the way. We just started this past week. So they're really good about standing up and speaking out in defense of Muslims. But, the majority of Muslims in America are non-Arab. So that's why the media does it, because they see a difference. They hate Arab Muslims. They love non-Arab Muslims. That's the bias, folks. I'm just telling you. You don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the media. So any country that abuses the rights of children, they're targeted by the media, except Israel's government. They get a pass on everything. And then they say, oh, why do you pick on Israel's government? Well, yeah, I pick on Israel's government because a lot of the stuff they do isn't good. You can go to the ArabDailyNews.com. I got a nice story about McCollum. She needs help. She really is a strong voice, and I support her. And the ADC, the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, released a statement urging support for McCollum's legislation. So you can read that and pick up on it. That would be pretty cool. There was some other news this week. A man who for the past few years was making hate-driven threats against the Arab American Institute's Jim Zogby, the executive director. I've known Jim a long time. He's a good guy. We've had a few little minor falling outs, but usually it has to do with egos on both our sides. I'll admit I'm part of it. But he's done a great job of trying to incorporate Arab American political activism into, the United States political system, and I support 100%. And I get abused, I get attacked because of it. He doesn't defend me, but I defend him. What am I going to do? I don't care. I don't need anybody's defense. I got a column, and I have this huge platform of newspapers where I can write about anything I want. I get a lot of people that read it. But this trial, they just had the trial, and they found this guy, and I'm just looking for his name right now. There's this guy, the defendant, William Patrick Syring, was convicted. He was indicted in February 2018 and found guilty yesterday on 14 counts, including 7 federal hate crime charges. Let's go to the phones at 248-557-3300, 248-557-3300. Say hello to our friend, our super fan, Jerry Habba. Hey, Jerry.
Thank you very much, Mr.
What's your
Ray
Arab name,
Hanania.
Jerry? It can't be Jerry.
Najib Habba.
Najib. All right, Najib. Let's go Arab, okay? They didn't give me an Arab name. If my mom was in the hospital and she heard Dr. Raymond, Dr. Raymond, Dr. Raymond, she wanted me to be a doctor, so she named me Dr. Raymond. So my dad
you were named after your doctor, right?
Yes. Yeah. I was named.
That's an honor.
Yeah, it is, but, she could have named me Abdullah. I would have been proud to be Abdullah, like my grandfather, my great-grandfather. That's a cool name. You're lucky, Najib. You got a cool name.
Najib in Arabic, you know what it means in English? In a person with a manners and polite and respect.
There you go.
And respect, Ray Hanania.
That's you. What does Ray mean? Troublemaker, loudmouth.
Ray mean Rafael. I call you Rafael.
Egyptian could be king, right, Ray?
Yes.
That's right, Ray, king.
And Ray, we share the same initial on our last name. You are right. Ray Hanania with the H, and I am Najib Habba with the H. H.
Yes.
So we are lucky.
We're really reaching when we look at our last name and say we both start with H.
And Ray, the H stands for happiness.
Habibi.
Habibi. Thank you, Ray. Ray, before anything, Habibi mean my darling. And I do have a brother, his name Habib.
Yes, Habib is very cool. And
Habib.
I knew a lot of Lebanese people named Habib.
And I'm not trying to advertise for him, Ray. Habib, my brother, I'm not trying to make it commercial. He's a famous tailor in Detroit, Michigan. Since he was 7 years old, my mom and dad, they put him in a tailoring shop. He could do any custom clothes from scratch, and he could turn into a nice suit or a nice dress for a lady.
My grandfather was a tailor. My grandfather,
Detroit, right? If you come to Detroit, go to my brother Habib and tell him your brother Najib sent me, and he will give you a family discount price.
I'll take that. I may just do that. Habib Habba. Habibi.
And take Mike Shapka with you.
Mike is a good guy. He's an honorary Arab. He's already on the FBI watch list from producing this program. The poor guy, I probably ruined his life because he gets associated with my craziness.
I know, Ray, without any meaning. I know, Ray, it is in your heart, your love to everybody, and include our brother and sister Muslim, to wish them happy Ramadan Kareem.
Yes.
Ramadan Kareem to all our Muslim brother and sister all over the world.
I used to say Ramadan Mubarak, but I didn't want to show support for the Mubarak administration. So now I say Ramadan Kareem.
No. Hosni Mubarak, he's another story.
I know he is. I'm just joking. So what's on your mind? What's the big news, Habibi?
What's in my mind, Ray? and I do agree with you 100%. I don't. First of all, I want to thank Miss Layla Al-Husseini yesterday before she finished her show, and she is carrying the title of "Kulluna Ibadallah." That means everybody, Jews, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, we all worship one God.
Yep.
So I love the title Miss Layla Al-Husseini carried, and I do appreciate her announcement yesterday before the end of the show. She said, and tomorrow, Friday, your host will be the legendary, famous.
That's what they say about people that have disappeared.
About you. She said, Ray Hanania will be tomorrow.
Yeah, they used to call people legendary who disappeared in Libya. You were legendary and then gone. So I don't know if I like legendary. Let's come up with a different word.
How about the famous?
Infamous.
Here we go. Al-Mashhur.
Yes, there you go.
Well known. So, Ray, what's in my mind? They do criticize our president, Donald J. Trump, from the first day he sworn in 2 years ago. And I'm not trying to defend the guy. Ray, I'm not Republican, not Democrat. I'm just feel as an American from Middle East who is loyal to his new country. When you take a citizenship, you have to give the loyalty for this country.
Yes,
and because this is our country become, with my respect to the Middle East where we born.
Yes.
So they've been criticizing, especially the fake media. And so he's strong. Look what they are doing to him nowadays. They even call his son, Donald Jr., 20 hours for the past 2 weeks, investigated him by the Congress. And look what they are doing to the Attorney General, Mr. Barr.
Yes. But except when it comes to the Middle East. They don't,
right.
They say nothing.
And Ray, from the beginning, I do respect President Donald Trump for one thing he said before he was elected as the President of the United States until now. He said, whatever happened in the Middle East, in Israel and Palestine, is the two-part, Palestinian and Israeli, without any interference from any other country. Palestinian and Israeli, they have to sit together one-on-one and discuss their problem. You know, Ray Hanania, as you know, and a lot of listeners, the Arabic government since 1948, we have, about 22 Arab countries. They are using Palestine as a joker card.
Yeah,
they are using Palestine for their own agenda and
they do.
Their own benefit. And who is the victim is only the Palestinian people.
Yes, they are. And listen, Jerry, I would tell you that I'm disappointed that the Palestinian leadership has rejected. They get emotional, they get angry, they turn away. They cut off their nose to spite their face. They have a justified legal foundation. They should advocate for it. They should go meet with Trump and tell him, we don't like your plan. Here's our plan. This is a just plan. Instead, what do? We bury our heads in the sand. We turn away. We say, no, it's a bad plan. We don't want to talk with them. And then that allows Israel's government to do whatever it wants to do. So in part, it's our fault. Listen, Jerry, stay on hold for a minute, okay? I got to go to break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I go to break, so stay on hold. Mike, let's just take a break. I'm Ray Hanania. You're listening to The Arab Street here at WNZK 690 AM. We're taking phone calls at 248-557-3300. We're going to come back to Jerry. How about right after these messages?
If halal is important to your family, you can trust that Miramar will offer not only the highest quality halal products, but the best tasting and healthiest foods that can be placed on your family table with confidence. Miramar is the first and oldest halal certified food brand in America, serving the Arab and Muslim community, and offers a wide range of halal food products. Check out Miramar's halal food selection today by visiting Miramar's executive distributor, Ziyad Brothers Importing at www.ziyad.com.
Are you going to start a restaurant or grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
It's all in one grocery store, and that store is Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market. Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market offers fresh vegetables, halal meats, a great fresh bakery, as well as nuts and spices and much more. They also offer special deals every Wednesday, so don't forget to ask for your favorite foods, as shish kebabs are ready to go. So please stop by Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market at 24065 Orchard Lake Road in Farmington Hills. Their phone number is 248-476-0300. Again, that phone number is 248-476-0300. And they are open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market is your one-place stop for all your grocery shopping needs and your favorite foods.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
And welcome back to the Arab Street Radio. I'm Ray Hanania on WNZK AM 690 Radio. And you know what, during Ramadan, one of the most important things is where you buy your dates. Dates are very popular in the Arab community and the Muslim community during Ramadan. And you want to make sure your dates are not originating from the racist Israeli settlements in the West Bank, where they take things and steal things from Palestinians and then pretend to sell it as Palestine dates. The one company that I know for absolutely sure that sells Palestinian dates made by Palestinians, harvested by Palestinians on Palestinian-owned land, solidly Palestinian, not Israeli, are the dates made by Ziyad Brothers, Z-I-Y-A-D. ZIYAD.com. Those are the dates you want to buy. You can be absolutely certain that those dates are handled by Palestinians. Jerry, welcome back and to the program. You know, do you have Hulu, Jerry? Hulu?
Was that right?
You have Hulu? Hulu on streaming like Netflix and Hulu and.
Oh,
Jerry,
I don't get it right.
You know, I tell you, there's a good program on Hulu called Ramy, R-A-M-Y, and it's very funny. It's an Arab Muslim who navigates his life through the U.S., and they have the Arab character down to the bizzer. You know, they got it nailed down. When you see somebody eating bizzer, you know he's an Arab, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, he is. Yeah, but is this show come in the Canadian TV?
It is in, this is U.S., Hulu. It's on Hulu. It's U.S.
Okay.
I think it's the only place you can get it is in the United States now.
I will pay more attention to that, right?
It's funny, R-A-M-Y. It's hilarious. Yeah, I watched all 10 episodes twice.
And Ray mentioned Ziyad brother imported Middle Eastern cuisine. Yes, I do support Ziyad brother when I go to the Arabic cuisines here in metropolitan Detroit. I support Ziyad brother because first of all they support Miss Layla Al-Husseini, the American radio in North America, and she's the only show that come, like you said, 5 days straight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I do support Ziad, brother, because he's one of the biggest sponsor for the Arab Voice of America by Miss Layla Al-Husseini, the chairman of this establishment.
Nefertiti. Let's call Layla Nefertiti. We'll give her
a queen Nefertiti. Right? Exactly, Nefertiti of America, Nefertiti of the Middle Eastern in North America, and she deserves. Right, don't forget, Miss Layla Al-Husseini. She was appointed as a human ambassador 3 years ago, so she is Miss Ambassador. You know that?
I heard that.
Because the Arab League, not the Arab League, like in Morocco. 3-4 years ago, there was a big meeting for the Order Journal of the Middle East, who they are in America, and Miss Layla Al-Husseini, she was nominee, and she won the title of ambassador, and she was given to them by the Kingdom of Morocco, and she was honored with a big degree. So salute to Mrs. Layla Al-Husseini.
I lived in Morocco. I traveled there in the 70s.
I never been.
What a beautiful place. It's a beautiful country.
Special Casablanca. And if you remember the movie of Humphrey Bogart, Casablanca, that was an awesome movie, great movie. Right. We come to late President Mohammed Anwar Sadat. Do you see, Ray, how he played a big role to establish the peace?
But listen, Jerry, he was stupid. I'm going to tell you where he made his mistake. He believed that the Israelis would be fair, and he was honest. He was genuine. He reached out to the Israelis, and the Israelis screwed him. Because the Israelis, Menachem Begin, a terrorist, an Israeli terrorist, who was prime minister, told him that in exchange for beginning peace talks with Egypt, he would initiate peace talks with the Palestinians. But instead, he never initiated peace talks with the Palestinians because the Israelis hate Palestinians. So Sadat made a big mistake.
And you know, Ray, when we say Israeli hate Palestinian, it's not the Israeli, it's the government of Israel.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I always distinguish.
Exactly, right? Yeah. When we talk about Israel, we are not against Semitic. Yes. We are not against Jewish. Jewish, like you know, Ray, my Savior, Jesus Christ, he came from a Jewish family. Virgin Mary, the mother of the Son of God, she was Jewish.
Yep.
So absolutely. Jewish, Ray, we don't have nothing against them. We call them brothers. And just like we call our Muslim brother cousins, we are all came from Abraham, Father Abraham of Ur, the Chaldean city south of Iraq. Ibrahim alayhi salam is the father of the human from Adam and Eve. And that's before he moved to Egypt. And then from Egypt, he came to Canaan, out of Canaan, which we call it now Israel. Yep. So we are from one source, one family.
Yep.
We believe in one God, right? No matter what we call it, everybody.
Yes.
But the God is one, and we worship one God. So we are, right? Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist. We are all brother and sister. So, right, we come back to the diplomacy. Right, I will tell you some secret. Maybe I told you or not. In the 90s, I sent a letter with 10 pages in Arabic to the late Prime Minister of Israel, Mr. Ishaq Rabin. And Mr. Ishaq Rabin, right?
He turned out to be a good guy.
Yes, right. Right, indeed. That guy, he was, you remember, a joint chief of staff of Israeli army during 1967 Arab-Israeli war. And after that, right, he retired as a general, and he went for a political election, and he won to be the prime minister. Right at that point, I want to reach out to the Israeli from a good point, from peace and love. And when I sent him a letter in Arabic in 10 pages, Ray, I came from work midnight till 5 in the morning, and I finished that letter because I read it many times. And Ray, the famous word I say to the Prime Minister, I say, Mr. Prime Minister, as an Iraqi American Chaldean, I wish you congratulations to be Prime Minister. I want you to be the captain of the ship. Treat everybody, Jewish, Christian, Palestinian, Muslim. Be a father for everybody and treat them equally, because Palestinian, Muslim, Christian, they are part of Israel at that time when he won. And you know what,
Thank you.
Right.
Jerry,
you know what happened in 6 months?
Jerry, I got it. Listen, I got one phrase for you.
Right. He started secret negotiation with Yasser Arafat in Oslo.
Yes.
Right. My letter make the Prime Minister start peace talk with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat at that time. So, right, Mother Teresa say peace start with a smile. And let's send the smile to everybody. Thank you, Mr. Ray Hanania, for taking my call.
Jerry, salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.
Salam alaikum wa Ramadan Mubarak for all the brother Muslim all over the world. Thank you, Ray.
Yes, Ramadan Kareem. Thank you so much, Jerry. And listen, we're going to take another break here, and we're going to be right back right after these messages.
If halal is important to your family, you can trust that Miramar will offer not only the highest quality halal products, but the best tasting and healthiest foods that can be placed on your family table with confidence. Miramar is the first and oldest halal certified food brand in America, serving the Arab and Muslim community, and offers a wide range of halal food products. Check out Miramar's halal food selection today by visiting Miramar's executive distributor, Ziyad Brothers Importing, at www.ziyad.com.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
Kushat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab offers a great array of your favorite Mediterranean meals. Meals range from lamb specialties, shawarma sandwiches, seafood dinners, and they offer special big trays of your favorite food, plus much more. Kushat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab address is 32839 Northwestern Highway in Farmington Hills. Their phone number is 248-538-9552. That number again is 248-538-9552. And the supermarket is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Kushat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab will definitely leave you satisfied.
When it comes to reproductive medicine, IVF Michigan Fertility Centers are the recognized leaders. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 5 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. As a founding member of IVF Michigan Fertility Centers, Dr. Nicholas Shama is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. Dr. Shama has performed over 10,000 IVF cases and has helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. American board certified in both obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility, Dr. Nicholas Shama is a very caring, compassionate, expert physician that understands not only the medical but also the emotional toil of infertility on his patients. When it's time, get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shama at IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio. Call toll-free 855-952-9600, 855-952-9600.
And welcome back to the Arab Street Radio. I'm Ray Hanania here at WNZK AM 690. This week is the 71st anniversary of the Nakba, the catastrophe when Israel's forces destroyed Palestine and destroyed the idea of a democratic country where Jews, Christians, and Muslims could live together as one people. They didn't want that. They wanted one state for themselves. And today, 71 years later, they don't have it. They have crisis, and they can pretend like they have whatever they want. But I'm going to tell you, Israel lives in crisis because they refuse to recognize Palestinian rights and they support the destruction of Palestine. So we commemorate the Nakba, and the Palestinians continue to grow in size. Their voices are increasing. They could be more strategic. They could be more effective. And unfortunately, our leadership isn't that great, and we're kind of in a lull right now. But I'm going to tell you that the Israelis have followed the extreme policies of Benjamin Netanyahu, who, one time said that he supported term limits, but of course, he's on his fourth term, his third consecutive term, and one term prior to that in the 90s. So, Netanyahu is there not because he's a genius. He's there because Israeli society is extremist, the Israeli voters, and they're much different. It's kind of really surprising that the American Jewish community is kind of in conflict with Israel's government. The American Jewish community, and they just completed their Passover this past week, they're very much more moderate, much more reasoned. Most of them, not all. I mean, there's still some fanatics in every community, Christian, Muslims, and Jews. But the American Jewish community, as generally, is very sympathetic to the Palestinians, and they got a lot of organizations like Americans for Peace Now, the New Israel Fund, Jewish Voice for Peace. These are great organizations that you should be supporting. And I'll tell you what, they can't stop the BDS movement, which grows. I support a limited BDS focused mainly on the settlements and Israeli policy that discriminates against Palestinian Israeli citizens. But, that's an internal discussion, I think, that may not change. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, our number is 248-557-3300, 248-557-3300. There's we don't pay enough attention to Syria. Syria is in crisis. We have everybody in Syria, the Americans, the Israelis, the Iranians, the Russians. They're all in the Syrian dictatorship of Bashar al-Assad. They're killing people. They continue to massacre people. The government forces just recently captured a town in northwest Syria, Khalat al-Madi, and many of the residents there were murdered by the Syrian forces backed by Russian air power. And it's they're flanking the rebel zone of Idlib and parts of the adjacent provinces there. Normally the area was protected by an agreement that was signed between the Russians and the Turks, but now they're breaking that agreement, and Bashar al-Assad is just going nuts. This guy, probably the worst part of the Trump administration was how he turned his back. Of course, even Obama did it. It wasn't just Trump. They could blame it on Trump, but it was President Barack Obama, Mr. Happy Talk and promises that were unfulfilled. He turned his back on Syria. He did nothing about Syria, and many Syrians died because of Obama. And he can sit there and they can all praise Obama like he's a saint, Saint Obama. But the fact is, he's not a saint. He's a good person. He tried to do good, but he didn't do what he should have done. And he opened the door to Bashar al-Assad's massacre and humanitarian catastrophe in Syria. It's just terrible what they're doing in Syria. They continue to massacre and kill civilians. 150,000 civilians have been pushed from their homes just in this most recent crisis. It's just unbelievable. The Syrian government targets health facilities that have been targeted and hit in the bombing runs. And these have been documented by the U.S.-based Union of Medical Care and Relief Organizations. This week, they took a number of villages, and they're it's just brutal. It's terrible, and nobody's paying attention to it. And that's really the real tragedy, that people are dying, and nobody is really saying anything about it. It's horrible. I don't know. We keep talking about Iraq and the resurrection of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi's reappearance. Does that mean ISIL is reborn? I don't know. in Iraq, but Iraq also has problems. The terrorists and the divided government there. Libya is completely divided too. They're like 3 different countries in Libya today. It's totally divided, and nobody's doing anything. All this destruction spins out of the Obama administration, because honestly, he sold his soul to the devil so that he could be praised as a hero. He could not have been praised as a hero when he retired and when he finished his term as the American president, had he really stood his ground on Palestinian rights, Syrian rights, Iraqi rights. He couldn't do it. He would have been crucified by the news media. But as long as he backed away, as long as he sacrificed his principle on Palestinians and on Syria and on Iraq and on the Middle East, mainly because he was pushed that way by Hillary Clinton, who really had a agenda to undermine the Arabs and help Israel and Israel's government. Because I'm telling you, the Clintons saw money in supporting Israel. They made a fortune in speeches, in accolades, in awards, champions of Israel. That's what they did. And again, we're talking about Israel's government. And Israel's government is bad. But you got to blame the Arabs too. They had a chance to speak out and do something. Instead, they boycotted the elections on April 9th. And they helped empower Netanyahu. Had they really doubled their vote, which they could have done, it might have given an edge to the right of center coalition, the blue and white party, that was challenging the racist Likud organization that Netanyahu had. But they didn't do it. And in fact, they lost seats in the Knesset. Their voices were diluted because they failed to do the right thing. So in a way, we are partly responsible. We can't make mistakes like that. We have to be smarter. We have to stand up. We have to be organized. Otherwise, we're going to be in a Nakba for the next 71 years after this. I don't know, but I know that some of the activists enjoy this because they profit from the Nakba. They profit from confusion. They profit from continued conflict. Because once there's peace, all these people will be out of jobs. All the activists on the Israeli side, on the Palestinian side, the extremists will be out of jobs. They'll have nothing to do. They have no qualifications. The only qualification they have is they know how to incite emotion and get you not to focus on their failed leadership, but to embrace them as leaders because they fuel the emotion. And emotion is blind. Emotion is stupid. Emotion is destructive. But not for the activists who thrive on emotion. We're going to take our final break right now, and when we come back, we can take some more calls. If you want to give me a buzz on Syria, on the Nakba, on the bias in the media against, the Trumps, how they are silent on the Middle East, but they're outspoken about everything else. They're silent on Palestine. Give me a buzz at 248-557-3300. You need to activate yourself. You need to be involved. You can't be silent. Silence empowers Israel. And if you're silent, then you are contributing to the problem. I'm Ray Hanania here at WNZK AM 690, thearabstreet.org. We're going to be right back right after these messages.
تعرفوا شيء، احنا كتير بنهتم بالمقبلات بالاكل الشامي،
واحنا بنهتم بالبهارات والتسبيكه في الاكل المصري،
واحنا نهتم هوايه باللحوم وجودتها بالاكل العراقي، واحنا في مطعم عشتار نهتم بيكم. اعتمدوا علينا ايا كان. نحن في عشتار نعرف ان لكل مذاق اسرار، فنحن نقدم اجود انواع اللحوم من ملحمه عشتار الواقعه على 56865 راين رود.
عشتار، قصه حضاره ترويها لكم اطباقنا المميزه في كل زياره.
تفضلوا بزيارتنا في 3625 East 50 Mile Road, Sterling Heights.
مطعم عشتار بإدارة فادي بهنام وعلي البغدادي. 586-698-2585 586-698-2585.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. Imad Nakash is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. Imad Nakash. See Dr. Imad Nakash and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937. 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
And welcome back to the Arab Street Radio. I'm Ray Hanania. And I urge you to go to my website at hanania.com to check out my podcast. And I appreciate all the emails I get and the support you give me. You can read a lot of the columns, by the way, at Middle East Monitor that I've written. I think there are like 30 or 40 columns there. The last column was Behind the Biased Headlines of Israel's Occupation. And that dealt with the experience of everyday, Palestinians in the West Bank. And I interviewed a Palestinian named Ahmed El-Baz, who is 26 years old, who lives in Nablus. And listen, we have people on hold, so let me go to the phone lines and I'll continue about the story. But you can go to the Hanania.com, click on the Middle East Monitor columns, and you need to read this experience about Ahmed. He's a photojournalist in the West Bank. He was arrested for taking pictures of a volunteer group to fill potholes. They were arrested by the Israelis for filling potholes outside of Hebron. Let's go to Ted on 248-557-3300. Ted, you're on the Arab Radio. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Ray.
How are you?
Okay. I just wanted to ask you about the Homeland Security. They spend so much money that really the country need, for our street, bridges, schools, water, And what are they doing with this? Who they are watching this Homeland Security, Are they
wasting their time watching us?
Wasting their time watching us? Doing what? Yeah. What are we doing?
They're watching. Yeah, what are we doing? I'm on radio. They watch me.
I'm calling you right now. Is that wrong?
No. See, but that's the problem. They want to intimidate you. When I was young, the FBI opened an investigation into my life. They spent 2 years investigating me. And you know when they started? The day I was honorably discharged from the U.S. Air Force after serving active duty during the Vietnam War. That's how little they disrespect Arab Americans.
So I like to know what this Homeland Security is all about. So I'm gonna hang up and I wish you explain to me what's this. They spend so much money.
Well, it's abused. It's abused.
Abused.
It's yes. On one hand, we need Homeland Security to identify people legitimately trying to come into this country to hurt us. Everybody should be put through a security, process where we know who they are and what they're doing. That's what we should do. But they don't do that. Instead, they target people on the basis of race, religion, and country of origin. It should be anybody. Everybody should be treated the same, don't you think?
Yes, and I wish they spend this money to the schools, the water supply that, like in Detroit, that the school don't have a good water in the school to drink.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I heard about that story about Flint, Michigan. The water there. Oh,
water. And these problems, we need to fix these problems, not wasting money on Homeland Security. This is a lot of money.
That's a good point, Ted. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Listen, thank you for calling. All right, that was Ted calling. 248-557-3300. I talk here for an hour, but maybe it's not what you want to talk about. You could call in and tell me what you want to talk about at 248-557-3300. Ted is right. The U.S. government spends a lot of money on things, but Homeland Security, it's properly budgeted, but it's misspent. They spend the money on wrong stuff. And, of course, they give away $38 billion to Israel, right? And billions to other foreign countries. We have real problems in this country. Poor people, they can't put food on the table. Families that are homeless. Nobody cares about them. They're cutting money for the homeless, and they're increasing money to Israel's government. And the media doesn't care. They will never compare the equivalency of wasting money on Israel and the fact that not enough money is going to support the homeless or the poor or to defend communities where crime is rampant. That's where we should be spending our money. We don't do that. 248-557-3300, whatever's in your mind. You need to express yourself. Put an opinion out there. Let people hear your voice. If you don't express your voice, and if you're silent, you can't complain, right? Layla Al-Husseini puts this radio show together Monday through Friday. She struggles to do it because the community doesn't even appreciate the power of communications. We don't understand it. We only see it as a negative. We don't see the positive power that we can embolden by embracing and doing something with it. We need to do that, and we don't. It's unfortunate. So I give Layla Al-Husseini a lot of credit for all she does to keep this radio show on. And, of course, WNZK AM 690, they deserve our support. All their programs. They got a lot of good programs on there. We should be thankful to them that they allow us to have a voice, a constitutionally protected voice, to express our opinions in a reasonable way. There's no hate here. There's political discussion. I don't criticize Jews. I don't criticize Christians. I don't criticize Muslims. I criticize policies and politics. Bad politics, bad policies, and bad governments, foreign government. We have a right to criticize foreign governments. So, you have to get involved. You really do. My Facebook page is coming up to the limit pretty soon. I won't be able to take any more friends. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. They got a 5,000 limit. I get friend requests every day, so I'm going to have to go through and weed out the silent friends. I need to kind of push the positives because there's a lot of good people that ask me a lot of questions, and I want you to be one of them. You need to engage. You need to support Layla's program. This Ramadan, if you're Muslim, make a commitment to do the right thing, to stand up for justice, and do that by being active. If you read something in the Detroit News that isn't good, speak out against it. Put pressure on them. Don't accept the bias and the racism. You don't have to. You can stand up and demand fairness from the media because the media is the enemy when it comes to the Middle East. They're biased. And I've explained to you that they'll attack Trump on every issue under the sun except on the Middle East. Jason Greenblatt, this guy's a racist. Where are the stories about his fanaticism, his craziness? Even Jared Kushner, you have to wonder about him. And what he's doing, they're not doing the right thing. They're going to make Israel and Palestine a bigger mess than it is. We just saw, right, 3 days of violence started by Israel. Israel, assaulted Gaza, killing Palestinians, and in response, the Palestinians got angry, fired over 600 rockets into Israel. They fired 600 rockets. Now, I don't know about the Israelis. They think the best response is to go in and brutalize, the Palestinians. But the truth is that the only real response is to make peace with the Palestinians, empower the peacemakers. That's what needs to be done. That's the only way to secure the safety of Palestinians and Israelis, Jews, Muslims, Christians. That's the only way to do it. That's what we should be focused on. We shouldn't allow our emotions to take control of our minds. Don't allow them. Don't get emotional. Don't get angry. Just because you have a disagreement with me or somebody else, don't allow that to fixate and be the focus of your anger. 99% of the stuff we agree with. But you know how the Arabs are? We're emotional about the 1%. And we want 100%, and there is no such thing as 100%. It's only consensus. That's the only way you can win. The only way you can win your rights is by collaborating with other coalitions and organizations and people who suffer too. African Americans in this country are treated worse than Muslims and Christian Arabs. The worst. And we need to support them, and I know we do. So listen, I urge you to go to my website at Hanania.com. Tell me what you think. Share your opinion. I'm not going to, embarrass you. I'll take your advice. I'll look at your issues. Just like Ted, he said, what does Department of Homeland Security do? I'll tell you, they need to spend their money better and focus on the real threats, not the political threats. That's what they need to do. They can do that. But it starts with you. And if you're Muslim this Ramadan, you need to make a commitment to be smart, do the right thing, speak out in a smart way. Recognize that the problem begins with the news media. They are the problem. They need to become objective. They need to be fair. And tonight, knock on wood, maybe I'll receive another Lissiger Award from the Chicago Headline Club, and that'll be my 5th one. I'll be really happy to do it. And I'll dedicate it to freedom and justice and a better news media if they do that. Hanania.com. That's my website. I'm Ray Hanania. I want to thank everybody, and again, I wish all the Muslims Ramadan Kareem, because this is an important month for them, and they deserve it. And Mike, thank you for doing all the producing. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thanks, Jerry Habibi, for calling in. I'm Ray Hanania. We'll talk to you again. Bye-bye, everybody.